You need exactly 8 glasses of water every day. Vitamin C prevents colds. Carbohydrates make you fat. Going outside in cold weather gives you a cold. You have probably heard at least one of those claims. Maybe you still believe it. Health myths survive because they sound simple, familiar, and scientific. Some are mostly harmless. Others can change what you eat, what you buy, and even what medicine you think you need. And one myth near the end is especially important because believing it can lead people to use a treatment that does not work against the illness they have. So let's test 10 popular health claims against what the evidence actually says. The dangerous part is that repetition creates confidence. A claim can be shared for decades, repeated online, and still be incomplete. Keep score. You may be surprised by how many sound familiar. One rule before we begin: this is not about replacing one extreme claim with another. Health science is usually more complicated than always and never. That is exactly why myths spread so well. The myth fits in one sentence. The truth needs context. And myth number 9 is where that difference becomes medically important. Myth number 1: you need a detox cleanse to remove toxins from your body. The word detox sounds medical. Add green juice, a dramatic before and after photo, and a promise to flush toxins, and it becomes extremely marketable. But ask the obvious question: which toxin? Most commercial detox claims never clearly identify what is being removed, how much is removed, or how that was measured. Your body already has organs involved in processing and eliminating waste, especially the liver and kidneys. That does not mean every juice or smoothie is unhealthy. It means calling something a detox does not make it medically necessary. Some highly restrictive cleansers can also carry risks. So the better question is not, what detox should I buy? It is, what evidence shows this product does what it claims? And now let's move to a rule almost everyone has heard. You must drink exactly 8 glasses of water every day. It is easy to remember, which may explain why it became popular. But hydration needs are not identical for everyone. Activity level matters. Temperature matters. How much you sweat matters. Your diet matters. And fluid does not come only from plain water. Food and other drinks contribute too. 8 glasses may be a convenient target for some people, but it is not a universal biological law. And the opposite extreme is not better. More water is always healthier, is poor advice too. Excessive water intake can become dangerous in unusual circumstances. The lesson is simple: useful health guidance needs context. And that brings us to an entire nutrient people have learned to fear. Because if carbohydrates are supposedly the enemy, there is a strange problem. Fruit contains carbohydrates. Beans contain carbohydrates. Whole grains contain carbohydrates. So are all of those foods automatically bad? Not even close. Carbs make you fat compresses a complicated nutrition question into a slogan. Carbohydrates exist in very different foods: oats, beans, fruit, whole grains, pastries, sweets, and sugary drinks. Those foods do not have identical effects on fullness, blood sugar, nutrient intake, or overall diet quality. The more useful distinction is carbohydrate quality. Whole and minimally processed carbohydrate foods can provide fiber, vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients. Highly refined foods with large amounts of added sugar are a different nutritional story. That is why removing an entire food category is rarely useful. Foods can share carbohydrates while having very different nutritional value. So instead of asking, are carbs bad? Ask, what food is providing them, how processed is it, and what does the rest of my diet look like? And now the clock enters the argument. According to the myth, food is acceptable at 7:59 p.m., but dangerous at 8:01. Your metabolism does not switch off at a magical hour. Meal timing can matter. Researchers study how late eating, sleep schedules, circadian rhythms, and total food intake interact. But timing may matter, is very different from anything eaten after 8 p.m. turns straight into fat. That rule is attractive because it is simple. It gives people one number to obey. But simple does not mean accurate. And the next myth shows how health marketing uses another shortcut: the word natural. Imagine 2 labels. One says, contains added sugar. The other says, naturally sweetened with pure honey. The second sounds healthier before you even check the nutrition information. Honey is not identical to table sugar. But natural does not mean unlimited, and it does not make sugar irrelevant. Public health guidance includes sugars naturally present in honey and syrups when discussing free sugars. The health halo around words like natural, organic, or pure can make people stop asking basic questions about quantity. The label may sound wholesome. Your body does not read marketing copy, and few nutrients have a stronger health halo than the next one. The moment someone sneezes, a familiar recommendation appears: take vitamin C before you catch a cold. But what if vitamin C's real effect is much smaller than the claim? Vitamin C is essential for health. That part is true, but for most people, regularly taking vitamin C supplements does not appear to prevent the common cold. There is some nuance. Regular supplementation may slightly shorten a cold or make symptoms somewhat less severe for some people. But that is very different from saying vitamin C will stop you from getting sick. Starting vitamin C only after symptoms begin has not shown consistent benefit. This is how myths are created. A small or specific effect becomes exaggerated into a universal promise. The correct message is less dramatic, which is exactly why the myth spreads faster. Now let's move to a food blamed for heart disease for decades. Egg yolks contain dietary cholesterol, so the old logic was simple: cholesterol in food must directly become dangerous cholesterol in your blood. But human nutrition is more complicated. Heart health depends on the overall dietary pattern, saturated fat intake, blood cholesterol levels, genetics, health conditions, and other factors. That does not mean everyone should eat unlimited eggs. It means eggs are bad for everyone is too crude to be useful. For people with specific cardiovascular risks or medical conditions, individual guidance matters. The larger lesson is important: one nutrient in one food should not be judged in isolation from the rest of the diet. And now we leave nutrition behind, because the next myths deal with infection and medicine. You have heard this warning: don't go outside in the cold. You'll catch a cold. But cold air is not a virus. And understanding that difference sets up the most important myth in this video. The common cold is caused by respiratory viruses. Cold weather itself does not infect you. That does not mean seasons are irrelevant. Respiratory viruses can spread differently at different times of year. People also change their behavior when it is cold, often spending more time indoors and close to others. Those factors can affect transmission. But saying you got sick because you went outside without a jacket confuses correlation with cause. A jacket can keep you warm. It cannot stop a rhinovirus simply because the temperature dropped. And once someone gets sick, the next myth becomes much more serious. I'm sick, so I need antibiotics. Not necessarily. Antibiotics treat certain bacterial infections. The common cold and influenza are caused by viruses. Antibiotics do not kill those viruses. Taking an antibiotic for a viral cold does not make the virus disappear faster. But unnecessary antibiotic use can still cause side effects. And overuse contributes to antimicrobial resistance, where bacteria become harder to treat with the medicines designed to control them. When antibiotics are genuinely needed, we want them to remain effective. Misuse today can make bacterial infections harder to treat tomorrow. This is why antibiotics should not be treated like a backup remedy for any illness. Do not use someone else's prescription. Do not save leftover antibiotics for a future sickness. And do not pressure a healthcare professional to prescribe them when they are not appropriate. This myth is not just inaccurate. It can influence real medical decisions. And our final myth survives because the sound makes people nervous. Crack your knuckles and someone will eventually say, keep doing that and you'll get arthritis. But studies have not established the popular claim that habitual knuckle cracking causes hand osteoarthritis. That does not mean aggressively forcing a painful joint is a good idea. Pain, swelling, injury, or reduced movement should not be ignored. But the famous arthritis warning is much stronger than the evidence behind it. And that raises the bigger question: why do myths like these survive? First, repetition feels like proof. Hear a claim enough times and familiarity begins to feel like truth. Second, anecdotes are powerful. My uncle tried it and it worked, feels persuasive because it is personal. But one experience is not evidence across large groups of people. Third, simple claims spread better than nuanced ones. Carbs are bad, fits on a thumbnail. A careful explanation of carbohydrate quality does not. And finally, money matters. Online, dramatic claims travel faster than careful corrections. Confidence spreads quickly, nuance does not. Checking the source helps protect your health. If someone convinces you that you have a hidden health problem and immediately sells you the only product that fixes it, your skepticism should increase. So before believing the next viral health claim, ask 3 questions. Who is making the claim? What evidence supports it? And are they explaining science, or selling a solution? If this video challenged what you thought you knew, watch the next one: 10 healthy habits that aren't as healthy as you think. Because one may already be part of your daily routine.